When you think we've had, oh heavens, this is what I mean, this is, oh heavens again. This is the theme today. When you think we've had several months now of coming along and harvesting and all is well with the world and all the effort and time that we put in the spring has come to fruition and we've gone home with harvests of this, that and the other, you suddenly get to this stage of the year, so we're in mid-October, and it's like all the seams that were burgeoning with goodies have just suddenly burst and everything's just flopped. So it's a bit of a meditative time, I think, because it's time to sort of look around, take stock, what's worked, what hasn't worked, and time to look ahead for next year. But yeah, you feel like all that hard work, it's coming to an end, and it's time. Today is definitely time to start making some room, clearing some beds and getting it ready for next year. So better make a start. Whole idea today is to start getting things tidied up. We have now got a whole pile of dead plants and broken canes, and if you look over here you can see that the sweet corn and the pumpkins have been hiding so many weeds. Look at these. But what is good is we've been able to discover the pumpkins that we've got, so let me show you. Okay, if we just have a little look here, look at this. This is a jack of all trades squash, which had never grown before, but that's what's on the label, so it's nowhere near picking yet. You know to pick your squash when this bit goes woody, which means that all of the goodness has come from the plant now and it's starting to die off from the plant itself, so no need to pick yet. And then if you look at the difference in size, this is one of my favourite pumpkins. Just look at the colour. I don't know if the colour picks up on here, but that is a Uchikikuri. And honestly, the depth of the orange belies the flavour of the flesh inside. It is an absolutely beautiful one. But look at the difference in size. Not really very fair, is it? The other thing that we've discovered that we did interplant between the beans, and it's one of the reasons I think our beans got covered in snails, because they had this lovely footage, but I completely forgot about, was our swede. So actually it's a little bonus crop. I don't know, do you do that? Do you plant things and then forget about them, or do you know where every single thing is? I never do. But yeah, not huge, fair, but a nice surprise. Another thing that's relatively easy to clear, and I think has now passed its best, shall we say. There's still more of these coming. Do you remember last time I found out all these little tiny little, oh look, they're still coming. I might leave them. Hold on, that one just came off in my hand. These are the gorgeous little baby boo squash, and I must admit we have had a couple in a stew and they were actually really nice. They were yeah, they were just squash. There was more to them than a courgette, so more to them than a summer squash, but they were softer than like a wasp, softer than a swede. They're really nice. Anyway, quite sweet, quite tasty. So yeah, I'm pleased with those, because I was just thinking they're just going to be ornamental and then what you do with them. But yeah, so let's just see what else I've got on there. There were only 2 plants either side. Oh, there's another one, look. There were only 2 plants either side, but they've actually produced a proper lovely little crop. This is one of those jobs that's just really quick to do and just give, oh, that's where my sweet peas went, look. I was wondering why they hadn't come. Yeah, it gives nice quick results, so that's always good. And while I'm here, while I'm up to date, I'll have another look at the, good grief, sorry, I'm just really surprised by that. Look at the stem on this. Isn't that weird? Can you see that? Is it meant to be flat? I don't know. Weird, anyway. Yeah, I'll check the courgette plants. We haven't had a huge amount this year like we normally do. We've had enough to give away. We've had enough, to be honest, but we haven't actually got sick of them this year, which we normally do. So, yeah, that's a good thing. Oh. Here we go. Something I'm not going to be taking up yet on my beautiful dahlias. I mean, you know, obviously they're past their best here. I've got to do a whole load of deadheading in there, but they have just been at their best. This is just one of the patches, but they have just been beautiful this year. So yeah, going to leave those well alone for now. You know, it's not often I enjoy tidying things up, which you might have noticed, but actually we coming up today, I've really been dreading coming up and getting going with this, but once you get started it is quite therapeutic, isn't it? So I'm not going to do the polytunnel today. I'm saying it's therapeutic. I don't need that much therapy, although that's arguable. But what I am going to do is clear up the front bit here, and then I'm saying all this. I haven't got my gloves. I've got no tools with me. They're all on the other end of the allotment. And again, it's one less job to do next time. I've got these beautiful snapdragons off Robin. I might leave those actually because I want the seeds again for next year, but yeah, again, all these little jobs. And I know there is a mantra, if you like, that says when you're tidying up, if you're doing anything in your garden, there's plain, not interested in this mantra at all, doing anything in your garden and you feel slightly overwhelmed by it, have the majority of the work behind you. And then you just concentrate, butterfly, just concentrating on the little bit in front of you, and it doesn't seem like such a big job, and you seem to be able to get through them a lot quicker. This is where I had the sweet peas. And actually saying that before I take them up, this is also a good chance to collect all your seed heads for next year. So I'm going to get on with this, and I'll show you what it looks like in the magic of what will hopefully only be a few short minutes. Okay, there we are. Not perfect. Like I say, I've left the beautiful snapdragons that Robin sent me. I've left them in because they've still got a few flowers on, and we've got to still make sure that our little creatures have got somewhere to go. Although if you look behind the camera where I'm standing, it's absolutely full of flowers. But yeah, I'm going to leave those to dry on the plant and then save the seed. But it's a little bit better, isn't it? Every little counts. It's a really strange day today. We were told that we were going to have this really beautiful, I think 20 odd degrees, which is quite nice for the middle of October, but it's misty and cloudy, and the humidity levels, can I do it? Yay! The humidity levels are really quite high. You know, sorry, I'm going off on one here. When you do no dig, which is what we are trying to do, gradually bringing the majority of the allotment round to no dig, because you don't dig in the spring as such, okay, you might do some weeding. It's when you pull things like this up and you see all the, I know you won't be able to see that one from there, oh, don't fall, you see all the little worms. I'm going to put them in there, and you know that when you came there was hardly a worm to be seen, and the ones that you did see were looking so sorry for themselves. When you pull something up and you see a whole load of worms, you know that that soil is alive beneath the surface, and that is just, it's really, really satisfying. Now, you'll know I've complained quite a lot this year about not just the amount of apples or lack of apples, but can you see me? But the actual quality of apples after last year's absolute bumper harvest. This year's, it's like they are having a real rest this year. That's the big trees. We've got a very big cooking apple tree I'm looking at, 20 odd foot tall, and that just provides us with so many cooking apples, but not this year. We've got a russet tree in the middle of the allotment, and we've got another, I think it's a russet again, at the back. But these are trees that we put in that didn't do much last year. And what has come this year has, can you see that? I mean, just scab and whitefly trying to get it on the act there. Scab and really just not very nice. But actually I've had a good look just now, and I think I might have found an eating apple. So what you should do to know when your apple is ripe, if you lift it up in your hand, you can't see this at all, can you, because the branch is in the way. If you lift it in your hand and it comes away easily, it did actually, it's ready. So, okay, one apple, a little bit marked. Shall I give it a go? Here we go. Live apple tasting. It might be horrible. It might be full of worms. Let's try. That's so nice. A little bit.
Good news, Jane.
Tart, but it tastes like an apple. It looks like an apple. Good God, we've got an apple. So actually, looking in here, we might actually have two. Would you like an apple, Mike?
Would you like a bunch of flowers?
Okay, well, the last thing I expected to be walking away with after complaining about the lack of them this year is an armful of apples. I'm still munching away at this one. Yeah, so the beans are down, the sweet corn's down, the baby boo and Jack Be Little squash are down, the kale's been tidied up, the sunflowers are down, the front of the polytunnel has been cleared. So the next thing is actually going inside there. So I feel it looks like, let's be honest, it looks like a bit of a tip, because what you soon realise is all that structure that was up was actually hiding or stopping your eyes from going across the ground. So there's a lot of tidying needs doing. Like I say, I never tidy too much because I'm conscious that the little creatures need somewhere to live, but we've made a start, and that's all you can do at this time of year, isn't it? Make a start. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed seeing a little bit of before and after there, and it doesn't make you feel too bad about your plot, because I know it looks a mess now, but you know, it does not take long to turn it around. If you've enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to the channel, press the like button, and I'll leave all the links to Patreon, Instagram and Facebook down below. So speak to you soon.